Yo, what it do? Hey, we know you should saw that fresh new intro. Wasn't that shit sick? Well, we couldn't agree more, guys.
Right, we just collaborated with our boy Omar at Sun City Vibes to help create an intro that would take our podcast to the next level. Do you need help with your video editing and content creation to help elevate your business to the next level? Well, Sun City Vibes has you covered without a doubt.
Yeah, that's right, guys. Whether it's a logo reveal, a music video, drone footage, or even t-shirt printing, guys, hit up Sun City Vibes for quality work and affordable price. Shit, Omar even made us a sick-ass hat. Look at this.
It's a fresh-ass hat.
Fresh.
Shit's fresh.
Fresh.
So yeah, guys, go help support those that support us and hit up our boy Omar and tell him Chris and Misa sent you from the podcast and help support a local El Paso business today. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. We're good.
Really, Chris?
Yeah, it's good that we fucking did that right now before things got worse. So once again, guys, episode 150, Mr. Joe Doergan's in the house.
Yeah, sure.
That was hilarious.
Rehearsal
right there. We got Misa in the building, Chewy as the producer, Blue in the back, Iggy Samaniego in the building. And before we start this off, we have a tradition. It's called the cracking of the celebratory beer, and it goes like this. Cheers to everyone. Mr.Doergan, I hope that water's good. It's the great value one, man. That's all I can afford. I'm sorry.
No, you guys spiked it, you said.
He hasn't even opened it, bro.
That may or may not be Everclear. You're going to have to find out the hard way. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Mr. Doergan is a local businessman, entrepreneur, formerly of Club 101, now involved with 101. I guess you brought it back to life, so we'll get into that. For the people who may not know you, Mr. Doergan, go ahead and just introduce yourself to the podcast a little bit.
Oh, shoot. Where do you want me to start? Okay, well, now I have this spot 101. Everybody remembers me from Club 101. I've always been involved in music. I used to play in Juarez. I played the really cool, famous place called the Lost Iguana. That's where I started booking shows. What else?
So are you from El Paso? Are you a native?
All my life, yeah.
Okay.
I lived in Austin for 1 year, and what an overload of... I got away from El Paso, and I wanted to get away from music, and it was just like, I got to go back and do music again.
So when you, what was your first involvement with music? Were you like a musician?
No, just a fan. I mean, there were some older kids in my neighborhood that were like big Stones fans, and I was just like, these kids are so cool, riding these cool bicycles. And then when I was a kid, I saw these cute girls playing music across the street, and I had to go say hello to them. So I got hooked on music, all for the wrong reasons. But
hey, man, women, dude, they fucking get you into
Go for it.
No, I was just gonna say, bro. What was that sound? Who was it? Jesus Christ.
What sound was it?
You didn't hear it?
I didn't hear it. I think you're
You'll smell it. You'll smell it right now.
Okay, go ahead. What were you saying about girls here?
I forgot. But I was gonna say too. During that time, during this time, was your dad was a principal, right? Your dad was a principal for the middle school or high school.
Yeah, he was at Riverside Middle, then Riverside High School. My mom's a teacher at Eastwood, so yeah, it was hard. I mean, when I go to school, it'd be like the teacher's like, "Don't act up. I know your father." So,
oh shit.
So you had to keep it straight, huh? You couldn't be acting out and shit because they would tell on you essentially.
Oh yeah, but I did get in trouble a couple of times, and then of course he would
Okay.
I'd get it at home, but I've always liked music. In high school, it was always buying 45s, albums. I started DJing in college. There was this fraternity, and it was like an Animal House, and they had. You'd go to these parties, and there was a turntable on the floor, and I'm like, they'd put albums on. So I joined this fraternity because it was just they had keg parties, and we built a DJ booth, and so I started playing there. And then I was in charge of making flyers, so I could flyer UTEP myself in an hour, and then I would hit NMSU and community college. And we had some real famous parties like Save the Well, Harpoon a Fat Chick party. We had one. It was.
What was that called again? Hold on, one more time.
Save a Well, Harpoon a Fat Chick. We were stupid kids.
That is the most savage party name I've ever heard.
Well,
Dude, I want a bumper sticker like that, dude.
well, there was a punk rock band that had a song, "No Fat Chicks," and I had it on my car. Because somebody put it on my car, and my mother took my car one time, and she was so embarrassed because there's a sticker that said "No Fat Chicks." But we had this was during Saturday Night Live, and so Eddie Murphy, and we were talking about this, how everything's so politically correct. I mean, Eddie Murphy could say anything. So he had a skit called "Who Killed Buckwheat." So we had a "Who Killed Buckwheat" party. Well, it just happened to be during Black History Month.
Oh my God!
We had to go see. So we had to go see Dean Avila, and of course, like, Joe, what are you doing? Blah blah blah. So, but these parties were out of hand, and the money that we made fixed up the house that we tore. So I was like, this is crazy. So I went to. So it's kind of gone full circle for me, because I went to the Mesa Inn and started doing parties there and other places, and then I started doing shows in the ballroom at the Mesa Inn, and then I left there because I'm sure you have worked with club owners that you make a deal and then you're doing well, and then, oh wait, did I tell you you're going to get the whole door? We're going to change the deal, and so I kept moving around, and then so then I decided I wanted to have a club, and I looked in the El Paso Times, and warehouse. I always wanted to have a warehouse club because I like Deep Ellum in Dallas. So I'd call and say, hey, I'm interested in renting your warehouse. What do you want to do? Club. Click.
Right away.
Click. So then there was this warehouse in downtown where it's now Union Plaza, and I'm like, hey, I want to do a wedding hall. And he's like, okay, you want to come see it? But you know what? You should do a club like Deep Ellum. Like, so me and the landlord just hit it off, and then that's where it's December 30th, 1989 is the first date of the Club 101. So everybody, people come up to me, oh yeah, I used to go to Club 101 during the 80s, and that's funny. It was only 2 days in the 80s. December 30th and 31. So, yeah.
Mentirosa.
Yeah, so Club 101 it used to be right there, you said, where Union Plaza is, right? Yeah. Which is kind of near the train station that's down there. And that area now is like completely like, it's changed. Like that used to be the hub for clubs, nightclubs, different types of clubs. But now it's just like, I think now the former Club 101 location is actually like a hostel or something.
Yeah. I mean, when I first went down there, people thought I was crazy because there was a building next door, and a lot of homeless people would just break in and stay in there. I remember putting out a fire for a couch. And then a lot of people crossing into this country, so many people on that street getting on the train. And, it's just, so people thought I was crazy because at the time, I think the only thing downtown was the OP. And then, after we left, there was a club scene down there.
I think Black Pearl was down there, right?
Yeah. It's funny because once, it's not funny at all because, once the city decides they want to do something, then there was all these drawings and like, we're going to make this an entertainment district. And the building had these 16-foot sidewalks, but there was no Club 101. There was a husband and wife pushing a stroller, and I'm like, writing's on the wall. They're going to be pushing me out. And, of course they told me, well, this is growing pains. Well, it was killing me because I didn't have any parking. And forever, I used to just have it all. And the landlord that I had, he had all of the other buildings, so I kind of took over the alleyway. It was, I wasn't. And then the city caught on, and they said I had to take everything up. But I used to have huge concerts out there, Fugazi, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, you've had some legendary bands out there. I was like 9 Inch Nails, No Doubt was there. Like these are some like killer bands. And I think it is crazy that you said, like how you said, when the city kind of wants to do what they're going to do, they kind of will just walk all over whoever it is they have to walk all over to get their thing done. And that area, like, it's still like it still hasn't like been revived. There's still really nothing down there.
Yeah, I mean, they made a ballpark and then they just kind of forgot about that area.
Right. And that's like the area that's closest to the ballpark. Like it's literally right behind the stadium, and like there's nothing there. There's like little businesses, but There's no bars down there. There's nowhere to go eat. There's nowhere to get a drink. So it's kind of weird what they did with that. But do you think you guys were forced out? Is that kind of like why the Club 101 went away?
Well, I mean, I really felt like I ran the wheels off it. And, you know, had I known now, I think I should have. What's that burger place that was on Mesa Street that said they were closing? They had a line. They said they were going to close.
Charcoaler.
Oh, my God. We're going to close in a month. I should have said, hey, we're going to close in a month. I would have had people around the building like that. Or I could have rebranded.
I think Aaron's Bar did that too, right? Like they like had like it closed down and then like they had a big reopening and then it just didn't make it.
I got tired and I had a partner, my ex-wife, and you know, it was just, I just wanted to just disappear for a little while. I went to Austin and then it just got away from me. But you know, now I love the, you know, I forgot to, you know, I've been talking to Iggy, you know, because I was the very first manager of the comic strip, and I was the manager when they were scouting for a location. So it took like 6 months for that to happen. And while that, I was building up my business DJing at the Mesa Inn. Then I had to make a decision. Well, I'm making more money in 1 or 2 nights than working here, but I really enjoyed working the comedy club. I learned about the bar business. I was there when Ella DeGeneres was there. And so I have a love of comedy. And I had a club on the east side called Metropolis, and I started doing shows over there. And then, you know, my ex-wife at the time, she really helped me with Club 101. She didn't, you know, because the guy who owns the comic strip wasn't crazy about me doing shows. So I stopped doing shows out of loyalty. But I'm like, God, I love comedy. Just one person up on stage, a microphone, and so I'd love to talk about doing comedy again.
So it almost seems like you were always just built to be like in the entertainment like sphere somehow, whether it's booking shows, being a DJ, being like around a comedy show. Like it seems like you were always like part of like
even in college,
right? Part of what's going on, like part of being at the place where things are happening. Where do you think that came from?
I just love seeing people have a good time. I love, you know, I joke because people say, "What's your favorite part of it?" I go, "When it's over." Because, and if it's done real well, then I want to book another show or you know. But I enjoy the whole process. I love the creative part. I like, you know, building the flyer or you know deciding what date it should be at and putting it together and so. And I love collaboration, so I don't mind working with other promoters, other clubs, you know, I'm not in competition. So like some of the clubs that are here doing live music, I'm like, listen, I don't want to compete with y'all. So, you know, if you get offered a show and I get offered the same show, I don't want to do a bidding war. I don't want to. So yeah, no, I love seeing people have a great time, gather and just have a great time. And, you know, people like, you don't understand. I go, yes, I do. It's like, because people come up to me all the time, like, I met my wife at 101, or I met my husband, or, you know, or I got divorced. Just, you know.
Because of 101.
I went to 101, looked at the wrong girl, and got divorced.
My second life, you know. Yeah. So, but yeah, no, I love seeing people have a great time.
What's one of your most favorite shows that you had or you did yourself?
There's so many that, you know, what is my favorite show? I mean, everybody talks about the 9 Inch Nails show because that was going to be the warm-up for Lollapalooza, the very first Lollapalooza. And 9 Inch Nails was supposed to play a year before at 101. And it was a sellout show, $17. And then he got sick and canceled. So they called me and said, well, we want to do a warm-up show. And I'm like, you know, I don't know. Well, we want to play for the door. It was $5. So we had people around the building, and they came from everywhere. And so, yeah, that was a crazy show.
Cascade.
You really had Cascade?
Yeah, that was the second time we had Cascade. We actually had him downtown, and it's really weird. You know, we were doing DJ shows to have like off nights. I don't think anyone maybe predicted that it was going to be like rock shows. but he's a super nice guy. And so, yeah, we were lucky. We had him at E9, and then we just, there's been some.
That's awesome, bro.
I mean, like the No Doubt show, we got that on. They were doing that rock album, that rock song, "Just a Girl." Of course, "Don't Speak" came out a little bit later, but you know, everyone swears they were at that show, but doing shots with Gwen Stefani. And
Dude, fuck,
sick,
man.
But then
That's
when they,
cool.
But when they became really big at Intima Shoe, you know, she really didn't talk to us that much. I took my manager. But we talked to the other two guys. I'm like, yeah, I loved El Paso. Who are those two guys that took us to Juarez? Those two guys from At the Drive-In. So, you know, it was Jim Ward and Cedric. So
Took them to Juarez.
they still remembered. Yeah, those were really innocent days. Because Trent Reznor, when they were loading in for Nine Inch Nails, he bicycled over to Juarez. You know, they wouldn't do that anymore now. But
Right.
I mean, you hear that a lot, man. Like in the 90s, you know, people are like, dude, even the you know, early 2000s, people were still partying hardcore at Juarez. And for us, it was like when we got old enough, it was like it has just that time has just finished. Yeah.
It was too dangerous at that time. So, like, when you look back, Mr. Doergan, because obviously a lot of things have changed. Bro, okay, sir. Sir, bro, guy. I'm kidding. But, you know, I've been...
Call him boss, right?
I've been told to respect my elders my whole life. So, you know, I'm not... You gotta, you know, do it every once in a while, I guess. But I was going to ask you, because obviously times have changed, right? Whether it's $17 tickets to see like a band like Nine Inch Nails, where now for any premium concert you're paying fucking $80 plus all these service fees, from Juarez being more involved in the El Paso lifestyle, especially in the nightlife. What are some of the biggest changes that you've seen from then to being in business now?
yeah, it's crazy how tickets cost. You know, I was always worried about keeping those tickets down. I made $10 shows, and I know it's years later. You know, a friend of mine wanted to go see this band Cannons, and it was playing in Arizona, and it was $100. So I know there's a thing now where bigger bands are playing smaller places, and it's an intimate show. So I don't know, maybe I'll do some of those. But yeah, there's some there's a guy that brings the show here, and he's the promoter, he's the ticket agent, and then he has these service charges. I really wish I could call him out, but
it's just ridiculous, right?
It's ridiculous.
Right.
You're already making money from the show, and then you have so yeah, it's and then, you know, when I was in college, I was on the entertainment committee, and
That's cool, dude.
yeah, well,
We're in charge of throwing the parties over here. We have a good time.
that was kind of cool because it was part of your tuition. So I took that really seriously. There were some people that didn't even care, but I just remember this professor, this woman, I can't remember who, she said, entertainment has a value. And I'm really worried that we giving these free shows, all these people are going to grow up thinking entertainment's free.
Right.
So that's my whole thing about, you know, Speaking Rock and just all these free shows. No other casino is doing free shows. They should have some fee. But I mean, maybe it makes it to where people who could normally not afford it.
Right.
But I remember being at this club and this guy and we come to the door and it's a local show and he says, "Okay, welcome to this club, and there's a $3 charge. It's not for me. It's not for the club. It's going to the artist." And I just love that. So because, you know, everybody thinks that the bar is, oh man, they're making so much money at the bar. You know, I've been on both sides, you know, and I totally understand. So anyway, yeah, it's, and you know, there's places that get sponsors, and I really didn't do much of that, but so that's defrays the cost. So yeah, I'm kind of gearing up for next year because the touring acts are coming out in the spring and stuff. So.
And so, like, obviously, you've had success booking big bands before. What is that process like? Like, are you doing the booking? Do you have somebody that reaches out to these bands? How are you getting all these, like, bigger, well-known names to come to El Paso?
Well, you know, everybody's like, "Hey, man, can you bring in," you know, I'm like, I brought these bands when they were up and coming, and there's always going to be an up and coming So that's what I'm looking for, and I'm actually okay. Even when I was when I had one-on-one on Airways, and it was a huge capacity, I had a lot of outside promoters, So, or they would say, "Hey, Joe, we want to bring this band through, so will you partner up with us?" I'm like, "Absolutely." So there's several promoters out here in El Paso that I need to reach out to. I'm cool with like, hey, here's a venue, And when I had these outside promoters, I wanted them to make money, so they wanted to keep doing more shows. So, but I do enjoy booking shows. So
do you ever get like feedback like, no, we don't want to go to El Paso, like we hear bad things about it, or it's too close to the border, I can't get my drugs down there, like you can't get no weed down there,
I don't know
like,
where Paso is.
yeah, I don't know where that's at in the first place. Like, do you get any, like, did you ever experience getting any like reactions like that?
I think it's better now, but I'm not sure. But just El Paso's the armpit of Texas. Or I heard that when I was in Austin. I wanted to punch this guy, but I was with my family. But
Right.
this guy was good.
Huele a fish.
Or I heard bands that were playing in Dallas, and this crowd was making fun. Oh, you got to go to El Paso. That town sucks, and all this stuff like that. And when the band played here, they were just like, "Man, this is great." Right. I mean, like, to me, these audiences in Austin, Dallas have seen everybody.
Right.
So they're, to me, I tell the agencies, is like, man, where can you play where you can get two countries, because
That's true.
we'd have a lot of people from Juarez, and they're, God, they're great crowds. I miss doing shows over there. I was doing shows over there for a while, but, I don't know if that'll ever come back, but.
Was there ever a show that like you kind of regret like throwing, that it didn't turn out like as good as you thought, or it's just like really bad?
I brought the Village People, and this was, they were on the radio, they were on the front page of the paper, and it was, I guess, before retro. I don't know, I lost so much money.
He's like, fuck.
And I got so drunk. I'm like,
That's good though.
fuck it,
Wait, so Village People are the YMCA people, right?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's crazy.
Yeah, I didn't,
Fuck. What other songs do they have?
They were really, well, I mean, they're a lot bigger now, and
Right,
sure,
right, right.
and they play bigger places, but I don't know why that didn't work out. Yeah, I've had some shows. Let's try to think what other show I just. Ugh.
Iggy was probably involved.
Yeah. Comedy show with Iggy.
I always crack up. I had Slayer at Metropolis. Had this venue over there, and I got lucky. That was a great venue. Like, I got that show, and then I just routing. I could never get them, and I got death threats like, "You fucking suck. Why can't you bring them back?" I remember I got a phone call, from an agent, and he's like, "Okay, well, have you heard of this band Radiohead?" And I'm like,
No way.
"Yeah. Would you like to do a show?" I'm like, "Sure." And then, but it was, so they played Metropolis. The lead singer's birthday was that day. So they started moshing to Creep, and they made him stop. And it's like, this is my birthday, and this is not a mosh song. And so that was one of the memorable shows. That was a cool venue. It was only 3 years. We had James from England, where he told the crowd to come up on the stage, and they all did. And Rob Halford's one.
And where was that venue? Metropolis?
It was off Lee Trevino. It was like a hall, but yeah, all the big discos on the east side, the top 40 clubs, because 101 was no top 40 that we had all. And so this one club closed, and all of a sudden, all this mainstream people, we called these shoes fuck me pumps, girls wearing those shoes like this. And then you alternative kids, and you're like, oh my God, and I saw an opportunity to go to the east side and do a club. And I took all of that mainstream over there. And then it was, I started freestyle night, and so I had a lot of these freestyle, but yeah. And then I got talked into doing a hip hop night, and it was more, it was just when it was coming out, because we were kind of dabbling with hip hop in Metropolis, and then we used to go to All Graders to see this one guy, and I remember, soldiers coming up to me, man, did you have your Wheaties tonight? I was the only white kid in there. So, but then, then hip hop became more main, and then we did it at Metropolis, and, the black community was like, the Black Chamber of Commerce wanted to do step shows there and all kinds of things. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. But that was fun for 3 years.
Step shows? Like kind of like Stomp the Yard kind of shit?
Oh, shit. Nice.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I love doing different stuff that, I got tucked into doing Texas country at 101, and these people would walk into 101 like,
Howdy.
Yeah. And so we did God, I'm trying to remember that artist. He just retired, but we had that other space behind 101 called Area 51 where we had the aliens and so we did all our shows in that building, and that country artist walked in and he's like, and he wrote a song about that alien, but God, I gotta remember who that was.
So he walked in there and he's like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on?
But that was when the DJ scene was coming, and so we wanted 101 to be doing the alternative stuff, and then we liked the DJ stuff too, so we started doing DJ shows over there.
And so Metropolis, like in the timeline of Club 101, is that like while you're still doing 101, or is that a little after or before?
No, it was while. Right on.
It's a little loud there, Chewy. Yeah, watch out, guy. God bless.
I felt like I was in 101 already.
Yeah, well, right. I felt like we just walked into a club.
So a while back, 80 something, 87, when the Smiths came out, I was playing at this place, the Lost Iguana, and that's where all these high school kids, I call them, they were all misfits in their own high school. And we were just doing college kids, and then the owner of the club like, you want to let these high school kids in? I'm like, sure. These kids were so cool. The way they dress, and I gave up. I'll play cool music for these cool kids. And then I started doing shows there. And so, everybody says this is my music. It's our music. We all kind of grew up together, or not grown up, but, I have people now their kids are coming to 101, or kids are like, I heard all about 101. I want to go to 101. So, yeah.
Yeah, and you guys, like, Club 101 was like I would say like it was one of like a legendary clubs here. Like, there's not a lot of clubs that people like have known and have been around for years that like they still remember back to this day. Like,
it's 2022 and people still remember Club 101.
And then it's kind of like almost like you made an imprint on these people's lives in a way that like is going to be like an everlasting thing. What is some of these challenges that you would face as being part of the entertainment scene, booking these shows? You talked about letting underage kids in to a show. Did you have like challenges with like controlling the drinking or making sure that everyone's getting paid right? What were those challenges that you would come to face?
Yeah, that's so funny nowadays. If I had $1 for everyone who told me I had a fake ID when I went to your club, I get that all the time. But man, I was a kid back there. If you got caught drinking or something, well, you got to go. It's right. It's not like you're banned. It's just tonight.
Right.
Try another night.
You lost this one, man.
Yeah, McLovin.
But no, I mean, if I had a show that took a loss, I took my beating. There was a time where there was promoters that would just literally disappear because the show wasn't doing well, or they did a show. They were going to do a show at my place, and then they were going to pull the plug. And I'm like, so then I took over the show because it's just, and the hip hop promoters were notorious for canceling shows if they didn't sell enough tickets. So it's just like, I wanted to develop the hip hop scene. I was doing underground shows at 101, but when we went to Airway, I got offered to do Snoop Dogg, and the guarantee was huge, but I heard all this, oh, am I going to get shot? Or am I this or that? He's kind of a heritage. He's not, So, but the police said they had a gang task force there. I mean, I had so much law enforcement there because there was supposed to be a retaliation, but the crowd didn't know about it. And, you know, it's funny. Then he goes on, well, he's an hour late. Well, first of all, this is a funny story.
High as fuck.
Yeah.
You know, because writers, you know, like he wanted a Game Boy or some video thing. He wanted KFC. He didn't want anything
super crazy.
Yeah, but he wanted a limo to the hotel. I mean, from the hotel to the. So we were walking distance from there. My partner had this at the time. This guy had this really nice vehicle. Well, he struck the limo. So literally, I was running up airway, flagging somebody down. We got a limo. So it was an hour late. People were pissed. But once he went on the stage, I mean, I never saw so much smoke go. And I looked at the police officer. Don't worry about it. Just we're not. It was. But the show went off without a hitch, and I think because for a while there was a lot of hip hop shows that would be scheduled and then canceled because they didn't sell enough tickets. And I'm like, you're never gonna bring that genre here if you can't, stick it out. So.
Yeah. Didn't Snoop Dogg get arrested here in El Paso though, right? Like for marijuana?
No,
Wiz Khalifa did actually.
Wiz Khalifa?
Yeah, it's Sierra Blanca.
At the checkpoint.
Yeah, at the checkpoint, he got arrested.
Yeah.
Well, him and Willie Nelson have been busted there.
Yeah.
Wiz
Johnny
was busted
Cash.
at the
Johnny
airport.
Cash has been arrested here.
Yeah, dude.
Sad thing I have.
Chewy's like, I've been arrested here. I second that, Chewy. But yeah,
The
that's
one
good.
leaving Ruidoso.
Dude, yeah, that's
Man,
wild.
crazy.
And I mean, yeah, and that's why I was asking, like, I think artists are like aware of like, hey, be careful, like going into El Paso, like when you leave out, like make sure your shit's clean because you're gonna have to pass a fucking border patrol checkpoint. Or if they don't realize that, that's when they end up getting like in trouble,
Yeah.
He's like,
Did you have a session with Snoop Dogg by any chance?
No, I never got to talk to him. It was like he had a lot of entourage,
right.
But he
Security.
he had a photo booth and it was $300, to get a
Holy
photo.
shit, fucking
But he had
Snoop, bro.
But he had a
Hustler.
long line.
Finesser.
Right.
But yeah,
Bro, and
photos.
what year was this?
Gosh, I don't know. It was in the 90s. Maybe I don't remember what it was, but that was a cool show.
Imagine now.
Dude, fucking. Oh, I think it would be better to see Snoop back then, honestly.
Yeah, dude.
But
Like, you
But
know?
I don't blame artists for, you can't make money on record sales anymore. I mean, so you got to tour and
Right.
you got to sell stuff. So
And I think that rappers are notorious for being late to shows. Like that's just like part of the gig. Like a show never really kicks off when it says it's gonna kick off.
Have you seen that interview with Snoop Dogg where like some guy's interviewing him, right? And the interviewer goes, "Hey Snoop Dogg, we want to know why you were 4 hours late." And the guy's like, "Shut up and ask me what you want to ask me, man. I'm here. Be grateful." Like, well, it's just some people want to know. He's like, "I was eating some chicken wings, all right? Now ask me what you need to ask me."
but it was like once he went on, it was hit parade. I mean,
Right.
it was, oh my God. We sold a lot of alcohol. I mean, it was crazy. It was
Bunch of Henny that night. Hit
Hit
the nail on the head with that one, man. He's like, we never sold that many Henny bottles ever.
That's true. We stocked up on those, but yeah, it was a fun party.
Bro, if Snoop's coming to
Yeah,
your
this one
town,
right here.
you better have some fucking Henny on deck, bro.
But
Yeah,
it's
that's
usually,
crazy.
it's road managers and, bands are away from their family. They break up with girlfriends because they're gone so long.
Right.
I remember what was that band called? Not Social Distortion. I Just Wanted a Pepsi. What's the name of the band? Suicidal Tendency? Yeah, Suicidal Tendency. He comes running out of the building. I'm like, "Are you okay? Who the fuck are you?" I'm like, well, and then my manager takes care of him. Because, they're just away, but yeah.
That's funny, dude.
Yeah, man. I could just imagine. I mean, obviously having a club and stuff, all the fights that you see, like at 101, you see just a bunch of guys all the time, like, "Hey, 1-on-1, we're out here."
Yeah, but they're usually just fighting over girls. That's what, like, most of the times that's what it's about. Like, they're not like, it's not like they actually hate each other.
I wanted to see Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, like it's crazy. But all that is like inherent with owning a club, right? Like, you're going to run into that, right?
The thing is, we're not the mainstream crowd, so it's just like, it's their club. Like, we rarely had any fights.
Oh, nice.
Now, when I had 101 on Mesa Street, we did this, and nothing against the radio station. We did a Hit FM night, Johnny Cage, and it was just all hands on deck. It was like 20 security guards, and they didn't, in military, you get them wound up in that music, their music, because it was that Hit FM night. They didn't care about law enforcement, nothing. It was just all hands on deck. But 101 club nights, I don't remember hardly any fights. I remember having to break up these two girls fighting, and I'm like, what are you guys fighting about? Well, she's going out with my boyfriend. He was my boyfriend since 8th grade or something. I'm like, you're an adult. So, I mean, I don't remember it but I've been at clubs where, you can feel that there's a tension, there's going to be fights.
It's usually like military, like I've been through a lot of places where it's like military guys, and it's just something always happens, and those guys are like the craziest guys. Like you see somebody just stick out a knife, or he puts a mouthpiece on. Like, dude, this guy brought equipment to a fight, to the bar just to fight.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
So
we really didn't have a lot of fights.
So the original Club 101 had how many? Like, you were in how many locations? Like, you ended up occupying how many?
Let's see. So the original one was 1990 to 2004. I took a break and then went to Mesa Street. Then it went to Airway. And it went to another East Side location. And then I got twisted with a partner, and then I call it the fake 101. It was on Stanton Street. It only lasted 6 months.
Okay. See, I don't even remember it being there.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
So
now you're at this one.
That's right. Now we're at 4151.
That's not Joe Doergan, dude. It's Joe Biden.
Joe Biden just popped up on the screen somehow. He's like, hey guys, did you all vote? He just popped up out of nowhere. Fucking Joe.
Yeah,
Sleepy Joe.
That's the wrong Joe.
How did that happen?
That's so messed up. Joe Rogan's okay, but
right. That was fucked. Chewy, what's wrong with you?
That wasn't me.
You're fine, bro.
Pay your Wi-Fi.
You got a fine right there. What do you mean pay my Wi-Fi? The Wi-Fi is working perfectly, you bastard. Okay, so yeah, so like when you're switching locations, like how do you guys go about like saying, all right, this is the spot we want to be at? Do you guys already like, obviously with real estate, everyone says location, but is like, did you guys have like an idea like in mind, like this is the type of location we would like or prefer?
Well, COVID was so weird, but I had this really good consulting job. I was helping turn around this country bar, and I was just fixing things that they don't see. And then I was DJing at a friend's place called The Living Room. So, and then when COVID, it was just kind of, but once we were coming out, we saw a location in 5 Points, because I love the 5 Points area. But it turned into a restaurant really quick before. We looked at it twice, but somebody jumped on it before us. I kind of wanted to be on the east side because there's a huge population. The deal that we have at on Mesa, it's just the rent is very cheap. It's a deal we couldn't pass on. And, I mean, the original 101 was so tucked away. It was a destination. Right. And I used to, like these clubs that are on Mesa or Lee Trevino, they could just slap a sign on tonight we're this and that, and there's all that traffic. So I wanted to be, but we're kind of tucked away a little bit, even though we're on Mesa. But my goal is to do, 10, 15 years. And, I wouldn't mind doing a small bar and some other things. But, yeah. We looked at several places. I just, just like with concerts, I see these promoters that, I'm going to do the Coliseum. I'm going to do 2 nights. I'm like, oh, my God. Start small. So I've heard people say, this 101 is really small. Well, I just want to grow with that. And I haven't done it in a while, and just, make it work. And then, maybe there'll be a bigger 101, or maybe there'll be something else. I mean, I think there should be another Tricky Falls, Yeah,
dude. Tricky Falls, or like the other place, the Percolator downtown. They threw a lot of shows. I feel like El Paso is really missing that type of place. I mean, the only other place I can think of is Lowbrow. That's still there. They still throw shows every once in a while. I don't feel like it's as frequent as it used to be. But yeah, that's right. Like we don't really have that type of venue like to go like catch a show.
Yeah, I went to the Lowbrow to see Modest Mouse, and that was the last national act I had at the original 101. So I had never been to that huge patio, and it was really cool. And then a friend took me to a smaller show, and then I really got the bug because I was just like, man, you know, all ages. Well, I went to go see
Blue October.
And you know, the band asked the radio station, is he going to come? And so I went, and they're just, you know, because they played at E9, the place behind 101, for 100 people, and they grew and grew, and so now they're playing the Plaza, and so I definitely have the bug again. But a lot of people ask me, well, how did you do all the shows? Well, it wasn't Club 101. It was the venue. It was a radio station called KXCR, and it was in 80. I don't know. I did it for 6 years. It was a 10,000 watt radio station that they did the show for high school kids to learn about music. Well, none of these kids had any records, and I was playing vinyl, so they invited me to the show, and then I kind of grew. They took off, and I took over the show. I mean, I would have At the Drive-In when they come off the tour and just take over the studio, and they literally played in a room like this.
That's badass.
And
Okay.
I mean, we beat KLAQ, all the radio stations. It was a 10,000 watt station, and we had 23 share of the listening audience. We had all these high school kids. There's still people saying, God, I have those Stepping Out tapes. And so I've been talking to my friend Bobby Welsh from guy mentioned her. She loves to be from Tricky Falls, and you know we both want to build that pipeline again. You know, want to collaborate with others because you know there's that article about we're going to have some place in Sunland Park for 8,000. Great,
Right, I saw that.
that's cool. And but I think they're going to do a lot of Spanish shows and DJ shows. That's cool, but it has to be still. There's still room for the 100, 200, 400, 700, even with comedy, and just build it. It's so. I'm hearing a lot of good things. I didn't get to see was the comedy show. I didn't get to see that, right?
The El Paso's funniest was just this weekend or last weekend,
Otis.
right?
Damn it.
And Otis Hicks won. Shout out to Otis Hicks.
Yeah,
He's been
shout
on the
out to
podcast.
Otis.
Give him a round of applause.
He went from selling dicks to being the funniest guy in town.
And he did that overnight, it
He did,
seems.
yeah.
Dude, that's funny.
He's
But yeah,
the funniest guy, yeah.
well, yeah, dude, I think he's hilarious, dude. Otis is very funny.
I keep running into him, and I want to work with him. You know, I saw him at this after hours house party. Then I saw him on Cincinnati Street. So
Does he look like a turtle?
A Ninja Turtle?
Yeah.
I'm not messing with him. He's got jokes.
Dude, he's really good at saying jokes, but he sucks at dancing.
Yeah, dude, yeah. Shout out our boy Otis Hicks right here at the comic strip. This was last weekend, right? Iggy? I was gonna call you Wiggy for some reason. I don't know.
Wiggy?
I don't know why. It just felt right. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think what you said, Mr. Joe, is like there's always, because even like you mentioned that new outdoor arena they're gonna put in Sunland Park by the casino in that area. I think you kind of like are right. It's gonna be for a different type of show. You know what I mean? You're not gonna see Modest Mouse play there like for 200, 300 fans. Like we still need those venues here.
Yeah.
And I think like it's severely lacking at this point.
Well, I know the Rock House. I mean, I think it's like 500 people or so, and then he's got a new place coming in. And I've been talking to him and talking to some other promoters. I mean, just like I said, I don't want to compete against anybody, but I just want to
build.
I just get in my own lane and do my own thing. Just
Did you ever want to like have a show like outside of the city or somewhere else?
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, God, man, we were just really developing that El Paso Juarez thing because they could fly in, they could play 101 on Friday and Juarez on Saturday, or vice versa.
There you go.
And it was 2 dates, 1 airfare, and then there was other promoters doing DJ shows and all kinds of things, but it just got the violence so, and I miss doing, I would love to, I was just in, was it Hobbs? No, Hobbs has a venue out there, but yeah, I'd love to do shows somewhere else.
So you said that like you are a consultant for other bars sometimes?
Well, it just,
Like trying to like help them get better, right?
Well,
It's like
I
a bar
was.
rescue kind of shit.
That's what I was. Well, I wasn't thinking on that level, but like kind of. Right?
Shut it down.
Joe, what? What's his name?
John Taffer.
John Taffer.
Well,
God bless.
there was this big country bar, and at the time I was out of the business, and I was selling cars. And this guy's, I want to buy. He was from Poland. I want to buy a big American truck. This way, I let him drive it off the curb. We started talking.
Drive it off the curb.
I got in trouble for
Fuck
that.
it.
So I thought I had a.
Dude, that's a beautiful move from a salesman. If I'm that guy, I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. I'm going to be fucking romping all this bitch. Let's go.
And then, so I asked him if he's like, I'm gonna, country music is so big. I'm like, oh, really? Okay. So I said, do you have a manager? And I gave my card to this other guy with him, and it never got to him. So when they started kind of, their numbers went down, he came looking for me. And I got to, and I was going to do shows there too, but then COVID hit and,
Fucking COVID, man. That
but
bitch.
people are like, "What are you doing here? It's a country bar." I'm like, "What are you doing here?"
It's country bar.
I like country music. Do you like country music?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
Do you have I know like obviously like I want to ask you about
Here we
like
go.
going into like being a DJ. But like what were some of your favorite bands growing up? Or like musicians, not even bands.
Growing up,
Or I guess your all-time favorite.
well, I just
The Stones, you mentioned that one earlier.
the Stones were huge for me, and then I started really liking alternative music once I went to college. And then I like Depeche Mode, The Cure, things like that. I'm a huge. I've been so lucky. I saw Prince several times.
Damn.
I mean, I got to see him with the Purple Circle. Then there was this after party in New Mexico, and Bobby told me, "Hey, better be at this club." And and they locked the door, and he walks past me, and he's like this tall. And then at 2:00, the club owner turns up the light. I'm like, I would have keep the lights down and paid the fine, whatever. And
Just kept the party rolling.
yeah, and there was a cancellation at Coachella, and it was Prince who replaced that artist. And then I've been to 2 Super Bowls, but I got to see Prince play at the Super Bowl. And man, it's funny, the scalper guys that was selling the bootleg T-shirts, well, it started to rain. Well, it was going to rain that day, and they were selling ponchos. And these guys are like, how do they?
They knew it, bro.
Damn, dude.
How to get it?
Right,
They switched it off.
So
Hey,
that was
they're hustlers out there, man.
oh my God. So it was drizzling the whole time, and then when the halftime show, it stopped raining, and Prince was just killed it. And then after it, this was in Florida, so anyway, but I love, I kind of stopped going to these big shows because I'm tired of watching the TV. Just like I would rather go to a club show or some up and coming band.
Right.
Because you can actually talk to them at the merch table.
Right. That's true. You can catch them out like before or after chilling, selling merch.
Yeah,
Get them a beer maybe.
They don't have any roadies. They're hustling in their own stuff.
Right.
I just remember we had Frank Black and the Catholics at E9, and he's the lead singer of the Pixies. And he blew my mind because the only guy that ever did you do okay with the show? Because if not, next time we'll play for less. And he loaded it in his own gear, and he gave me his cell phone number. I should have called him.
Right.
He invited me to his house. I'm like, who does that?
Yeah, like who's that considerate of like the venue owner? Like, hey, dude, like, did you guys do well for yourself? Did you guys make your own good cut? But yeah, dude, that seems like it would be super.
Come
rare
over,
in
I'll
that
make you
industry.
dinner.
No, it was really nice. If I didn't do well, I just take my beating, and
Right.
And I don't want a band to have to give me, but that he cared. It was
Right.
so like wow.
That means he's like a good person, of
Yeah.
good character. You know what I mean. God bless.
They're on my bucket list.
You all right?
I'd love to see them play. They have a new album out, so I hope he's listening. Hey Frank, I love.
Man, dude, Frank, dude. I forgot about the Pixies, and I remember I went through middle school and I had this whole phase of the Pixies. That's all I would listen to.
Yeah.
You're super into that or what?
Yeah, dude, them, and then at the same time was Radiohead as well. It's just those 2 bands. Just all I would hear.
Is there anyone like newer bands that like you're like, all right, I like these guys too?
Well, there's a band that plays at the Reagan, Twin Tribes, and I went to see them and I got to talk to them. I like them a lot. I still do my Stepping Out show. It's on Mixcloud, so I'm always trying to discover new music, and people are messaging me. So I can't think of right off the bat who I like.
You should go rap again, Chris.
No, dude, I'm not gonna do that. But like, so would you say that like you've always been like that way with your music, trying to find new music like throughout your whole life?
Yeah, no, I love discovering new music. Even though I have a retro night at 101 and it's all about the 80s and
Right. Nostalgia.
yeah, and that's fun too because you see all these people singing all the words and everything. But I really like discovering new bands.
I think it's interesting because like I feel like there's different type of people like when it comes to listening to music, where there's some people that will just always listen to like what they're comfortable with, like what they feel nostalgia about, and they don't ever really venture out of that world. They
they
just
don't
stay,
give anything else a
Yeah, they
chance.
just stay in that lane. But then I feel like there's other people that might have the mindset of yourself, where like I'm always looking for new music. I want to see like what the younger kids are listening to. I think it's like a good way to be when it comes to music because you're not so narrow-minded, if that makes sense.
No, I'm trying to think of that band that played Don Haskins that were from the 80s, this big rock band. It was just there. They're like a theatric rock. Iron Maiden.
Iron Maiden.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so I totally missed the boat on that band. I just, I was an alternative kid. To me, music on the queue was butt rock. I just, I didn't like the Scorpions because it was just like I'd hear all the time. Although I saw the Scorpions later and I had a lot of appreciation. But, man, I was at the Scorpion show and my son was really into it. I felt like I was at something that I wasn't invited to, but just tripping out on everybody else who was singing all the words, and I was clueless, but I had a good time, He had a good message, and
That's what happens. Like me growing up, like my stepdad was really into like the Police and like all these like bands from the 80s, and I never caught on to it until like right now. Like I listen back and it's like, dude, these songs were coming out in the 80s and shit, and I was over here like, fuck them.
You just disregarded them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that happens though, like with just music in general. Like people are always going to miss out on like that one artist because they're not into that genre or whatever the case may be. But I think that's kind of normal in a way.
Is there some type of music that you won't listen to?
Yeah, I guess what would be like your least favorite genre if you had to pick one? Like
yodeling?
Like mine, like I don't like super hardcore like techno. Like where it's just like
Like 300 beats a second.
yeah. Like I'm like, dude, can we just like slow it down a little bit before my fucking heart explodes? Like, you know what I mean? But that's so I could say like for sure like that, and then also like heavy metal, like super like death metal, like screaming. I would say like for sure like not down. You know what I mean? But for everything else, I'm pretty open. So like for you, like what would you say is that genre?
I never really got drum and bass, but it just.
He's like I just never understood.
But I mean, there was people who really liked it.
Fucking drum and bass.
No, I mean, and then, let's see. Well, reggaeton is huge. And
Right. It is fucking huge, my
I was
guy.
gonna say reggaeton,
Bro,
So-
do you know how huge it is?
I mean, people buying $700 Bad Bunny tickets.
Right. That is crazy, right?
Yeah, and I hated it, and then I'm like, I just.
What am I gonna do about it?
Yeah, no, I'm not a hater. I mean,
Right.
it's I'm only thinking, well, if so many people like it, why am I trying to? But yeah, it's a joke between some of the DJs. They're like, we have to play Bad Bunny. I was playing.
They ask for Bad Bunny all the fucking time.
Oh, yeah.
It's like
Well, if somebody comes to 101 on a retro night and there's one woman, she's like, can you play Banda or reggaeton? I go, look at the room, read the room. I mean,
read the room.
But-
Stop being selfish.
I used to play at Epic in the summer in the gay district on Thursday nights, and nobody comes out until 12 o'clock. So my job is just to step on the gas, and I'm just like, okay, I'll play reggaeton.
Reggaeton, that's, like I thought Joe over here probably didn't like it because he hated these reggaetoneros coming up like, tú ya sabes. And he's like, no, man, I don't know. Tú ya sabes, yo no sé.
No, I think
Bro, a ticket
music in
resold.
Spanish sounds better than it when they sing in English, and I never understood that. You know, that's one of the romantic languages. But yeah, when you hear a artist cross over to English, you're like, it doesn't sound the same.
You can try to replace me, but bitch, I'm one of a kind. You know I be speed racing up on the highway 95. Look, I don't give a fuck why these niggas hating on me. Oh wait, because I got your bitch tripping on me. She said my love promethazine got her leaning on me. Spanish mommy with that accent, bet she call me Poppy. Okay, yeah, she be hitting my phone like.
So what do you envision for now the new 101? Like how, like, where do you see yourself being like in like 5 to 10 years?
I hope I'm involved in live music and special events. I always wanted to do a festival and just grow it and grow it and grow it until it's, you know.
Like a kind of like a, what's the Sun City Music Festival, something like that?
Yeah, something, but not.
Neon Desert.
Neon Desert.
Ooh,
Yeah.
the desert.
Well, Neon,
do it like in Ruidoso.
So like, okay, so Neon Desert for sure is like,
All around.
but no, but I mean the people that throw that, they're not from here, right?
No,
It's like an out of town agency that handles this.
yeah, it got sold and then got sold, and I think it's like, you know.
So like, I like what you're saying. Like, start a festival from the ground up and grow it organically here within the city, and not maybe sell it off to somebody that's like, you know, not really in touch with what the people here want to listen to.
Yeah, when I had 101 downtown, we would get so many people home from spring break. And I remember this little festival, South by Southwest, started during their spring break just to,
Little festival.
well, it was for local bands. And now I'm like, we lost business. It was like, they're not coming back. This is 3 weeks of it. you
Right.
know,
They're fucking staying over there.
the movies, the music, and the interactive. I'm like, that we used to. Spring break was huge for us, but I wouldn't come back either.
Right. So you've been to the South by Southwest? I've never been before.
I've been on the tail end of it. I've never been a whole week.
Have you ever been to like any big festivals? Like even back in the day, maybe?
I've been to Coachella. I've been to Lollapalooza. We used to go to Lollapalooza. Well, we went to the very first Lollapalooza to see Nine Inch Nails, and their equipment melted.
What? What?
Well,
It was that hot or what?
and everybody's like, okay, well, I didn't get into 101, so I'm going to go.
to that show, right?
Yeah, we made these we made these
crazy.
T-shirts that said I had a Nine Inch Nails ticket, but I couldn't get in. So we were like, okay, we'll see you in Phoenix. Felt really
the perfect shirt to wear in Phoenix.
because there was too many people at in the 101 show. So the fire marshal was like, okay, you need to kick out 50 people. I'm like, okay. All right, so anybody want to exchange their tickets for Me Beat Manifesto and something else next week? Fuck you. Okay, so what do we?
Big old fucking
We had
two figures.
I think we had a couple exchanges. So because the fire marshal said we're not going to start the show, it's like, okay,
Fuck.
let's look for some all age kids, all ages. So we got a few that I don't know, and then I just decided, okay, I took all my bartenders' employees out the front door. So then they let me start the show, and then we put them through the back door.
Oh, your employees, you ran them out, and then you're like, okay, that's a good idea.
But
Beating the
I mean,
system.
I was a kid, so like I have a lot of respect for law enforcement. My grandfather was a fire marshal here, so I just
But to you, was it worth it though? Like if you got fined, you're like, fuck it, we made this much.
Yeah, I mean, it's just everybody wanted to get in. How can you? It's hard to tell people no.
Right.
You think, well, I can get a few more people in. I mean, now there's. I mean, I took that stuff seriously. I mean, they said that we needed X amount of people before they start the show. When they had that, I was very proactive. So when they had that nightclub stampede where those people got killed in Rhode Island, I knew writing on the wall that they were going to come out and beat up the club. So I talked to city council and said, let's have a learning where we all meet with the club owners and the fire marshal. So it's better to work with the fire department, law enforcement, TABC, than try to sneak something in.
Right.
Blow them off or whatever.
Yeah, guys,
Right.
a lot of promoters like, well, we're going to do this area, but we're not going to, go talk to the, the liquor board or whatever.
Right. And that's a very real, not concern or threat, but it's a very real issue that you have to deal with, is being in compliance with someone like TABC. Because if not, these guys come take your liquor license, and now what?
Yeah.
You're fucking giving out Coke and Sprite all night. Nobody's down.
Yeah.
And not the good Coke either, you know?
we were in an old warehouse district, so we had those industrial shows, and we had no idea. And the floor was like this. So then we had to get a structural engineer, but we were like, whew, we could, anyway, yeah, I don't know why I'm telling that story.
Yeah. Dude, yeah, that's crazy. It's all the shit that people don't think about, like, really, like, about, like, everyone sees, like, owning a club or a bar is like, damn, it must be cool. Like, go there, get fucked up whenever I want.
All they
like,
think about is a party.
They don't understand like the logistics and the business side and the legalities that you have to be like in compliance with, because it's not that easy. Like, you know what I mean? And if you're not about it, that's how you see like these bars and clubs. They just come and go. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We had White Zombie play 101, and so the bass player, she needed some guitar strings. So I told my manager, I'll be right back. Don't do anything.
Don't do anything dumb.
Don't move.
So I drive her all the way to Danny's Music Box, come back to the club and we're letting people in. And I look at the front and I'm like, where's our barricade? Well, Rob Zombie says that we don't have that kind of crowd, and he wanted to strike the barricade. Oh my God. So I got and I was, God dang. But as a fan of music, it was like Project X. I mean, it's so much fun, but anything could happen. But yeah, this young manager listened to Rob Zombie and strike the barricade. But
Jesus Christ. Like total mosh pit, doesn't matter. Fucking
let them
free for all.
yeah. But I mean, nothing happened. So luckily.
When you look back, like over your time, like because you've been involved in this industry for so long, do you ever look back and think like I would have done like certain things a little bit differently? And maybe like in the sense
Yes,
of like
I would, yeah.
the relationships you build, the people that you go into business with, like is there anything now in hindsight where you look back and you can say like, yeah, maybe I made the wrong decision that time?
Well, yeah, I mean, like there was a period with 101, because it's like people like to see you there. So I started that Metropolis Club, and some people said that, well, we didn't see you there and I was back and forth. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I wish I'd never closed 101. I think that was, but I just thought, okay, well, I can take a break. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things I wish I could have done differently.
But I mean, that break helped though, right? I mean, you think taking that break was something that you would have still done at some point?
Well, if I know what I know now, I wouldn't have. No, I wouldn't have. I just, I was in a marriage that was falling apart, but we have two great kids together. I mean, she helped me do 101. It just wasn't her thing, which was kind of cool in the beginning. That's kind of how when I was DJing at the Mason, everybody always thinks, you're gonna hook up with all the,
you're gonna fuck all these girls.
Yeah. She's into me, and she's like, I'm leaving. I'm like, where are you going? It's like, well, this is not my thing. I'll see you tomorrow. And that was really cool because she wasn't like, So, yeah, I would have never closed. I got tired, but I just thought, well, I'm gonna take a break for a year or two, and it just got away from me. So, but I have no regrets. I mean,
Are your kids involved in the business too, or they just do something completely different?
Yeah, it's just I want to drag my son back. He's
he's like, come over here.
He's my daughter is like my ex. They like to work for somebody. My daughter has a good job at Amazon. She likes working for somebody. But my son's an entrepreneur. He started a company, and he tried to move back here, but he's now doing a lot of business in San Antonio.
Okay.
So I'm like, I'm going to get you back here. I got to get some places going. Cause he likes comedy. He looks up to this guy, and, he just, and he wanted to do film. And I'm like, man, cause he had like this bit part in some movie in Austin, or like he was an extra
or something.
Yeah. So I'm like, man, I want him to come back and, there's a filmmaker here in town that did a 5-minute, like a 101. And I mean, like there was like 40,000 people that saw it. It was just like, and he wants to make a movie about 101. And we met a couple of weeks ago. It's been a couple of years, but he's got all these other projects. So yeah, I'd love for him to come back to El Paso. El Paso is great. It needs everything.
Right. Especially, yeah, like we were saying, it needs those small venues. Those venues are key. Yeah. Because like when you explain or when you talk about like going to a show and running into the band at the merch table, like that shit just doesn't happen in any venue. Like if you're at the Don Haskins Center, that shit ain't gonna happen. You know what I mean? Because they're immediately escorted to the back where you're not gonna have access to them. And so I think it is important that like that you see the value in that. You know what I mean?
Unless you're the lucky one who saw him outside at the Camino Real or something,
right?
Getting a picture.
Right. But even then, they're kind of like, all right, well, we got to go. We're on the move here. You know what I mean? Like when you get them in that environment, they're like, yeah, dude, we're here. We're fucking posted up. We're chilling. Like I'll have a beer with you, whatever the case may be.
Snoop, you want to have a session?
So like what you were saying about like your son being an entrepreneur, do you like? Has that always been the same case for you, where you're like, I don't want to have a boss. Like I want to do my own thing when I want to do it.
Yeah, I mean, my mom was an economics teacher, and she would we'd stay up at night and talk about entrepreneurship. So I blame her. No, I'm kidding.
I blame her for this. Well, shout out to your mom, by the way. Give her a round of applause. She'll even get a real one because we love moms around here, don't we, Chewy?
No, my mom's awesome.
Shout out, mom.
She talked about getting off the beaten path, and that's kind of what I did. And but it's weird. Like I just had a birthday, and this lady goes, "Do you mind if I ask you how old you are?" I said, "Yeah, I don't mind. I'm not telling you, but I don't mind."
You can ask all you want.
But I still feel like I'm in I'm still a kid. So what were we talking about?
Moms, man. Shout out to
my mom. Yeah,
moms and being an entrepreneur and like always wanting to have that type of like I'm my own boss type of thing.
Well, she always talked about people who retire. They don't know what to do and they die like the year later.
Right, because they stop working, right? Because they stop doing that everyday job that they're doing, and then they retire and they're like, what the fuck do I do now?
Yeah, and I bet you guys have lost some friends, but it's weird. We've lost people that are younger than me or older than me, and I'm just like, God, your friend Johnny Cage gave me shit on the air. I'm like, oh yeah, Joe Doergan's still DJing, 97.
Yo, Johnny, come on, son. What was up with that?
Fuckers.
Damn.
But I mean, it was a plug, so that was cool.
Right. He's got the clout from that. We good.
El Johnny Jaulas.
Dude, that's cool.
But I still feel like a kid. Like I went to Love Buzz and I was with my friend, and I'm like, I'm the oldest kid here,
I'm definitely the oldest one.
There was
that's crazy.
So yeah.
But I think that's good. I mean, I think that's good that you have that same type of like energy and passion still.
I mean, because Mick Jagger is touring at 80 years old. Like, God, I'm sure you have some friends that are in their 30s or 40s. I'm so old, I can't go out, I can't do. I was like, really?
Yeah, I'm actually that friend, you know what I mean? But dude, it's because I fucking work like all the time, and I work early as fuck. It sucks, you know what I mean? Like I sound, bullshit. Yeah, you see, like I'm that guy you're talking about right now. Okay. But at least I'll admit it, But I still like to slam the talls, Like we're still doing that. Like
I think it's a choice, though, too. Like just because you kept doing what you loved, even though it's entertainment or whatever. My grandpa would say something like you didn't stop playing because you got old. You got old because you stopped playing.
Yeah. There you go. That was beautiful there. That's like the most beautifulest thing you've ever said. That was amazing. You witnessed history right there. Because normally he never says anything.
My grandpa did. Yeah.
That was crazy. But I think like there's value in that.
I see some of my friends that are the same age that are retired, and they just. You get home at what time? 3 in the morning?
That's the time I wake up.
Waking up and shit. Yeah, that's crazy. But do you is there anything that you do on the side that you kind of help keeps you young? Like, do you work out? Do you
weed,
do you smoke THC? Like, you know what I mean? Like, well, let's get straight to it here.
Bottle of tequila a day.
Get a little bit of Adderall here and there.
Just kidding. Cholesterol pills. Keeps me going.
Well, you know, a while, I guess. Well, I mean, God, working out. I work out, then I stop, then I work out. But you know, I was like told I was pre-diabetic. That was kind of scary. So I've been trying to eat healthy.
Right.
So, but man, dude, I'm trying to stay away from Whataburger, but I love stuff.
Bro, God bless. I'm going to ask you what your favorite meal from Whataburger is later. Don't you worry. We're going to get to that. Dude, I'm here for Whataburger talk all day, every day. And if you're not, fight me.
Chris is Whataburger, dude.
Yeah, dude, I'm like a fucking. I should be like a shareholder in the fucking company.
He should be their mascot, like the
Right, I should
McDonald's.
be something, dude. like I've spent way too much money there not to be involved with day-to-day operations. That's all I'm saying.
Oh yeah,
That's all I'm saying.
Membership.
Like fuck.
I think I saw a Whataburger sign in here when I came in.
Oh yeah, right there. Yup.
What number? 69.
Well, you know what? Fun fact: 69 is my favorite number, by the way.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It's because no, Chris loves it so much that every time his wife cooks, he has him like put out the number.
yeah.
Like when the food's ready.
That's like my cue, you know. I'm like, all right, let's do it.
Here comes Chris running.
Yeah, but no, for real. Like, so like Whataburger, like we'll get into that right now. But it is good that you kind of like realize, like, okay, maybe you know, if I want to be kind of living this lifestyle still, I might have to change it up. Maybe Whataburger once a week, not 2 to 3 times. You know, like you kind of see, like, all right, I should probably, you know, make a little bit better
Let's just
choices.
buy a burger, cut it up, and put it on top of a salad.
Right, like this guy does. But yeah,
Yeah, no, I'm trying to work out. I take vitamins, and you know, I like working out. I'm bored of walking. I just so.
yeah, walking sucks, dude. It's like overrated as fuck, dude.
But it's like the most healthiest. I don't know.
Right, that's like, it's like, what else are you gonna do? Like, you're not gonna fucking jump rope all day. Like, you might as well just have a stroll, walk the dog.
Jump rope. When's the last time you jumped rope, Chris?
Say like 2012, probably. That was a long time ago. Are you a good jump roper? That shit was
hell
always
no.
kind of like hit or miss for me. Some days I'm on, some days I'm off.
I couldn't save my life. Yeah, I could do it.
Did you ever do any like combat sports? You know, maybe train boxing or wrestling or anything like that?
No, I mean I took karate lessons or something. Where I got you buy a belt. I'm kidding. I mean that's what this. I had a bouncer that, you know, he was from New York, and he's just like, you were in that class, you just buy a belt, you know, because you pay your dues, and you know. So, he used to make fun of me.
You buy a belt.
God damn it. That's hilarious, dude. So, okay, so no sports really at all? Really?
Oh, I love sports, man. I think it used to be all basketball, but now I just love football because it's 17 weeks, and then it's
Right. And then you're
you
done.
miss it,
Right.
and then you know, because these basketball and baseball, 162 games is too long,
Dude,
82.
like, I don't know, like, why, like, in either sport, like, we're playing over fucking, like, 50 games. Even 50 games seems like a lot. You know what I mean? Football, I get why it's so short because it's so fucking physical, and teams barely make it through the season as is, so they can't afford to have more than fucking 17, 18 games. But yeah, I mean, like, I'm a big sports fan. Obviously, Chewy's fucking
World
all
Cup
Spurs
coming up?
out. Yes, sir.
Spurs
World
fan?
Cup. No, not Spurs. Get out. World Cup.
Who's your team, if you don't mind asking?
Which sport?
Basketball.
Okay, well,
I'm ready, bro.
they suck, but
They suck. He's over here like,
well,
All right.
spit it out. Spit it out. Come on.
the Lakers, but it was well, it was
Well, they don't suck. It's just, you know,
What?
times are hard right now.
What
you know,
players like changed your mind? That, like,
In basketball?
Yeah, I'm gonna be a Lakers fan. Like, this is why. Because
Well,
I have a Spurs jersey, and I know why exactly why.
well, I mean, when we first got cable TV, it was KTLA. Me and my brother would sneak down at midnight to watch King Kong because, you know, it wasn't on regular TV. And then, you know, the Lakers, it was the only, you know, it was like, you could, you know, so I got to see Kareem Abdul-Jabbar play in San Antonio.
Holy shit,
Oh,
nice.
No way.
Yeah, it was his last year. I mean, much respect for the Spurs, the Iceman, and all those, you know, Popovich. But yeah, I don't know. I should get another team, you know. But nowadays I'm kind of rooting for, you know, because I always feel like I get counted out, so I root for people that Yeah, I'm rooting for players, so I don't know.
Nice. So you're a fan of the league. Who do you root for nowadays?
But I like that guy from Dallas. Oh my god,
Luka Magic.
That guy
There you
is
go.
so
He's a boss, bro.
No, dude, his name's Kevin.
No, we have a friend that looks just like him, but no, he's a dude. That guy, he's an animal, dude.
Yeah,
He's really good, and I think a lot of it has to come from like he was playing like professional like in Spain like at 15 years old and shit. Like,
From 12 to 15.
like he was already balling, and he was like playing fucking grown ups and like, oh yeah, I can fucking J you up all day, do something.
Yeah. He's like, but let's hurry up because I got homework.
Yeah,
but I saw a Brooklyn game the other day. I'm just like, God, I don't understand Kyrie Irving, man.
Oh, yeah.
dude, Kyrie's
It's a team sport. Get the
Right.
shot, make your money.
Dude, Kyrie's been like such a problem since he went to Brooklyn. Like, I don't like he's hardly played really. Like, you know what I mean? Because of COVID, he wouldn't get the vaccine and shit, so they didn't let him play because it was mandated in the state. It's like I don't know. Like he went from the top running with LeBron. Like even before that, like the Cavs were good just with him. He played at Duke, like really fucking good. And then like all of a sudden, he's just had like this change of character and like
With
it's kind of weird.
I could beat him 1-on-1.
With the whole thing going on. So Nike lost him. Nike doesn't want a partnership.
Yeah, dude, it's
You're
crazy,
right,
and I don't know what happened. Like it just like all like pre-COVID, he was one way, and post-COVID is like a fucking complete like 180.
COVID changed him.
I just love team sports. When I had 101, it was, people went there to see the doormen, the bartenders. It was all a team thing. We had so much attitude, and we even said, if you don't have any attitude, we'll give you at the door. And so then when I started DJing, I was like, oh man, I feel it's so much pressure. I don't even know what it's like to be a comedy because you're just like, it's people are coming just to see you.
Right.
And so now I'm so glad to be back in a team. And yeah, I don't understand. Like if I'm on this team and, I'm going to get the shot because my goal was to win the championship.
Right.
So I don't know.
Respect.
Yeah. So real fast before we transition to the back end of the podcast, the DJing, you still actively DJ, right?
Yeah, I do the Saturday nights, and I spun vinyl. Everybody thinks, oh, you should do a vinyl night. God dang, I had to carry crates up.
Holy shit, dude! Yeah, that sounds terrible.
So when CD came out, I was like, this is great. I think I'm a record player that puts good songs together. I was working with a guy that could mix so well that everything sounded the same, and it was just, to me, it was like, I love train wrecks. I love, he's playing this real cool dance music, and I come in with a Cult or something, and some of the rock dance music. But when video came out, and actually I was doing video at Mesa, I was taking a VCR, and I remember staying up late, and I saw Teen Spirit. I'm like, this song's gonna be monstrous. And I took my VCR to KXCR and plugged it in so I could play that song because it wasn't out. But I video mixed.
Dude, that's so
It's
crazy.
like instead of burning CDs, he's doing it on a fucking tape.
Yeah.
God
Well,
damn.
it's funny because like sometimes people are dancing and not really paying attention. So at the Mason, I had a switcher, so I would put on a porn. And then somebody's pointing, and then I switch it back to the regular video. I love fucking with people. Yeah. So
We throw some porn on there real fast, just to let them know that we bowed it out.
Somebody's taking a shot like, what the bunch of balls hanging in the fucking. It's funny, dude. That's awesome. Just get them out of nowhere.
But yeah, so I video mix, and so because some people, they don't really want to dance nowadays. It's more the older crowd that dance. The younger people
Right.
just hang out, which is cool. But
We just hang out and fucking get on our phones and slide in
Selfies,
some
yeah, the whole
DMs
time.
of some whores,
TikTok.
That's what we do.
but we get
Iggy, right?
we get a younger audience because they're like, we don't like the reggaeton or the music that's coming out. So on the retro night, we see 20-year-old girls. I had this Prince party, and I'm like, these girls were dancing to everything. I'm like, you like this stuff? It's like, oh yeah, we love this. Keep going, So
Fucking Prince.
yeah.
Everyone loves Prince, I feel.
But yeah, I play Saturday, and I'm part of Friday night.
Okay.
I had this young guy playing on Friday, and he's doing these retro songs, but some artists remade them, and he does such a good job. So like the older crowd will come out early, and of course the younger crowd comes out at 11 or 12.
Right.
So then the older crowd is kind of leaving on Friday. So it works out good. Well, we're trying. We'll see. And then we're going to try to add some. I want to do an alternative night on Wednesday because at 101 I had this alternative night, and it was called Liquid Lobotomy Night, and it was, to come hang out, and it wasn't necessarily a dance night, but I could play the Pixies and things. It wasn't trying to, but then, so we're working on that. Well, I do have a night before Thanksgiving party, so yeah.
Oh, nice. So where can people find you on social media? Like, which platform are you most active on? The Instagram, Twitter. Where can they find you? And then also like the nights you DJs, where are you DJing at?
I'm just at 101. I'm bigger on Facebook, but I got my page hacked, so I was out for 30 days, and it was
they took you down?
Painful. So I was on Instagram, and I think I got it more. I mean, the living room has got a huge, so they were always tagging me. So I grew. I'm on.
You got 3K followers on IG already. That's good.
You have a pretty active link tree. That's pretty cool.
So yeah, I've been doing TikTok, Twitter. I think that's more national.
Right.
Snapchat.
And you do you run all your own pages, or do you have someone that helps you?
I do, but yeah, no, I do.
Do you do those TikTok dances too?
No.
Dude, you look like you would kill it at a TikTok dance. I'm telling you right now. Yeah. Just think about it.
I do 2 podcasts. One is the Stepping Out, which was that radio show, and it's on Mixcloud.
Right.
And then since I'm single, divorced, I started this podcast called Joe Knows with a girl whose name was Josie. And it's about the 3 Ds, dating, divorce, or done. Which stage are you in?
Oh,
so we get to poke fun at relationships. It's not it's just for fun, but
it's pretty interesting.
Do you advise people to get married?
or divorced?
We just poke fun at, dating, online dating, because I think everybody's in 2 or 3 stages sometimes.
Right.
You're done, but you still want to date, or, I don't know. Just.
Do you think the dating world is like completely different now from when you were like more active?
Shoot, well, now I've been single longer than I was married. I was married 15 years. And, God, I dated, when I got divorced, I dated more girls. I'm like, why didn't I just have kids? I'm kidding. But
wait, what do you mean? Like, why did I do this before or what?
But
why did I ever settle down?
Married?
But no, it was a good thing. I had 2 amazing kids. But
Right.
Yeah, it's just, I was like, I tried the online dating, but it's just so, everybody says, it's weird both sides, especially with COVID. Everybody's
right.
I tell him, well, he's probably got tons of, it's like,
who, this guy? Wait, who?
Yeah, because I mean, like,
tons of what?
Jokes.
Oh, jokes. I thought you were gonna say chicks. I was like, bro,
God.
Look at him.
He's popular. But these girls like, I want to meet somebody. No, you don't. You have a really good job. You have, let's see, you have Netflix, you have a dog, and you have batteries. You don't need us. I swear.
Get yourself a dog.
Batteries. Okay, I see where you're going there. Okay, so hold on. Are you active on social media dating apps like Bumble or Tinder or anything like that?
Yeah, I've tried some of those. Yeah.
Oh, how did that go? I'm just curious. I just want to know.
Can I find you?
Because, like, I can imagine, it's like if I'm going out with a woman, I just want to just spend time with her and talk to her, but I get all this, hey, man, at Club 101, it was like,
they start bringing up that shit.
I had to go far into the Northeast or Lower Valley or something, but somewhere where
that place got me pregnant.
Right?
I got pregnant 3 times there. 3. He's fucking 3-0. This is crazy.
Yeah.
Joe.
Man, did you guys ever go to Metropolis?
No, and that's what I was saying. I didn't even know that you had that. You saw a lot of sex there?
Well, we had these pool tables, and there was this dark area. Hey, Joe, do you know that there? No, I did not. But anyway, I'm sure it happened at 101 too.
Right. So you would just let it fly? It's like,
Do you still get like them young chicks, like now that you're DJing, like, oh my God, Joe, I want to sit in your face?
Where are those chicks?
He's like, I've been looking for him.
It's because I mean, if you look at Joe, like he looks like a mysterious guy, you know, like just by looking at him. And
people want to take my picture, and I'm real cool about that. But a funny story is that we had one-on-one on Airway. And this bouncer's like, "Hey, the lead singer's upstairs having sex with this woman. What should we do? Let it happen. He'll tell great stories."
Right.
Yeah.
He's about to put on a badass show after that.
Yeah. What do you mean? You know.
Yeah, I feel like you're good in the sack. Like I don't know why I get that feeling, but I feel like you're an incredibly good lovemaker.
yeah, you turn them
Like
tables, but turn the sheets.
Chewy on the other hand, man. This guy can't. This guy doesn't know one hole from another. You know, he's just sliding. He's sliding all over the place.
You guys are so money. You guys are all
This shit is funny, dude.
womanizers.
I'm married.
I'm married too. Yeah. I actually just had a wedding party like a few days ago. You did? Yeah. So this is all like I'm going through a mental breakdown right now.
Yeah.
You know, but
Well, I mean,
it's
chicks
okay.
go after married guys.
Our wives don't listen to this shit anyway, so we're good. You know what I mean? So if we're being real, right, Misa?
A ring means, it's like, hey, well, that guy's not going to say anything. I swear, it's so weird seeing, doing that show, we've talked to different people on both sides. Like, wow, it should mean something,
Right.
a ring, but
I thought it did.
What did you say? A ring only means what?
Well, he was saying that like it doesn't. It means that like the guy is not going to say shit because he's got.
The
something
girls
to
say
worry
that
about.
too. That like I can go out with a married guy because he's not going to tell anybody. It's crazy.
See, that's fucked. It's fucked. It's fucked.
Yeah.
It's totally fucked. We're fucked. We're all fucked.
I'll say something, dude.
God damn.
Well, there's no loyalty. Like,
Right.
I would never go after somebody else's girl.
No,
there's guys that
obviously not.
they don't care.
Yeah,
They'll
some
care.
guys are ruthless as fuck about that, bro. But also, those guys are usually like douchebags, and it's like right away you're like, we don't need you.
Yeah,
around.
but those are the ones that the girls really like. Hey, what?
Right,
All
but
I'm down.
that says more on the girls than
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Because right away when you know somebody's like douchebag like that, you can be like, dude, just get the fuck out.
That's why the nice guys like Blue's all fucking loner and shit. But
Dude, he hasn't had sex in 6 months.
Oh,
look at him, dude. Lost his hair and shit. He used to look like me. They used to
Yeah.
think like we're twins and shit.
Yeah, dude,
look at
it's
him
crazy. I feel bad for him, but I don't because
Dude.
like he's one with the Lord now. You know?
now. He's going pale now.
Well, I have a
Father
friend,
Blue, we call him.
I have a friend, and he hooks up. He's a handsome guy, but he's like, I really like hanging out with you at the DJ booth. It's like his platform. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
'cause girls come up and request, and he starts talking to them, and
It's like carrying a puppy.
Come hang out with.
He's
me,
like sitting there with the fucking fishing
Right,
pole,
he's
just
just-
fucking.
I know a spot.
Yeah, he's like, it's like him at the lake. He's just fucking reeling them in, baby. Come here.
And no kidding, he walked out with
Joe's a bait.
2 women like 2 weeks ago.
God
did
bless
he
his
invite
soul.
me?
No. You see
No
that?
sharing?
Okay, you see that's wrong. He should have been considerate about you. Okay? And if he's not going to do it, I'm going to have to say something. I'm going to have to step in because that's not
Yeah.
cool.
Let me throw my real name, brother.
Why does he get 2 and you get 0? Like, I mean, bro,
Yeah.
split it up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
just
Take
to
care
be-
of each other.
Well, just to be fair, one time at the living room, he did invite me to this, but I'm like, no, I'm not gonna go to his house.
Yeah, right. Next thing you know, it's a fucking foursome and shit.
Well, he got the hot one, and of course I had the bullet.
Right,
so
right.
I'm not going.
I think everybody
You
has
gotta
a
be
friend like
good
that.
friend, though.
Yeah, take one for the team.
Yeah, yeah.
I think everybody has a friend like that, like Joe. Like
He always takes
He's
it.
like, hey man, yeah, I got this girl coming over, and I'll be like, dude, you gotta wash your hands. This girl's got some like could be chlamydia and shit. He's like, nah, fuck that bitch. She's gotta wash her hands. She don't know what I got. You know?
I got worse. Yeah, no, I mean, I think, yeah, like, obviously, it's kind of, I think it's kind of weird now, like, the dating scene compared to, like, what you probably were used to. But, I mean, hey, you got to fucking do something, you know? Like, what,
Players gotta play.
fucking Pornhub can only do so much,
Players
right?
gotta play.
Players got to play. All right, Mr. Dorgan, you've been great so far, man. This has been a lot of fun. We got a little crazy off topic there, but I think it was nice. You know
it was
what I
a
mean?
blast.
Opened up your personality a little bit. We got you cracking some jokes here and there.
You'll never have me back, right? Great.
No. Actually, we like would okay, and this is just like a speculative idea, right? But if we wanted to do like a remote podcast, could we do that at your spot? Is that something that you'd be
Absolutely.
down for?
I always wanted to have stuff like that at the club. I mean, because my son was telling me about these girls who do a podcast at a coffee shop, and you know, yeah, no,
I think it'd be cool to like have a live audience and interview somebody, like having Joe and having people, you know, for sure you'd be hearing, let me sit on your face, Joe.
but I would love to do that, like a bar night where you guys, you know, on the stage, or you know, just
Mud wrestling, dude. We could mud wrestle.
No, we're not gonna mud wrestle. We're gonna do a live podcast episode. He wants to mud wrestle. He wants us to fling mud at each other.
No, just, you know, I mean, I remember working at the comic strip, and this waitress, and she just dropped and just, and everybody just was quiet, and the comedian goes, just put it right there, you know, and then everybody started laughing.
Yeah, leave that right there.
I love how comedians can just, you know, come back from something that just, and she laughed, but it was, you know, you guys, let's do something.
Dude, that would be sick,
that would
dude.
be dope.
Because that's something that like we thought about, and like radio shows used to do that all the time. They would go do remotes like at a car dealership or a restaurant, promote it, you know, try to get people to show up. Obviously, podcasts are a little bit different, but the idea of it would still be cool, like to promote it. Say, hey guys, come out this night.
I mean, it'd be cool
We'll
to
do a
have like
show.
Aaron Jones, you know, like at 101 and having an interview on there.
Well, I'm sure Aaron Jones is going to want to do the show at Aaron Jones's bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's one thing, but I mean the idea is there, you know, and I think that would be really cool.
A long time ago, this guy Paul Strelson, principal. Well, he worked for KROD, but before this election, he was broadcasting live, and he had conversations. It was so cool. I mean, I would love to do something like that. You know, this is where it's at.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
All right, so what we're gonna do, Mr. Doergan, we're at 1 hour and 32 minutes here.
Do I have to chug a beer?
I mean, do you want to chug a beer? That's on you. I mean,
Luke, can we get Mr. Joe Doergan a beer, please?
we're gonna do 5 random questions with you, so I think we should get him a beer. What do you say?
We got one for him.
It's up to you, Mr. Doergan. You
Bring
make
it
the
out.
call. I don't, it's up to you.
Peer pressure.
I won a chugging contest in college.
Give him a beer.
Let's check it out.
and my future ex-wife won the chugging on the women's side.
Oh,
so,
nice.
Yeah.
So a fucking match made in heaven, huh?
Ooh, it's a cold one.
Yes.
Oh, the coldest.
Right, so we're not allowed to have warm beer in this house. If we do, the house will set itself on fire.
Yeah,
It's just this weird rule that happens. All right, so we're at 1:32. Does anybody know what time it is? Does anyone have the time? I
Damn,
need the time.
it's already late. What time is it?
What time is it? Chewy, get the time.
Joe?
Am I allowed to drink on air or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I've been drinking the whole time. What do you
Oh, okay.
mean? So what's the time?
Yeah. Anybody got the time? What is this? Now, guys, it's time for the 5 random questions here at Conversing with Chris and Misa, the podcast hosted by your boy, Chris Marquez.
I'm gonna let this ride, okay? I love this. The way the horns hit, it's just there's something about them. You know what I mean? It's just I don't know. God bless. I love that song. That's my favorite song of all time, Mr. Doergan, right there.
I love that song.
That piece of music right there. All right, guys. So what we're gonna do now is we got 5 random questions with Mr. Joe Doergan. Thank you again for being here today. Give him a round of applause, Lisa. I really do appreciate it. Had a great time with you.
Absolutely.
And I'm glad you like that cold beer, man. That's like that's my specialty in life. I don't do a lot of things good, but I'm good at keeping cold beer. You know, that's what I do. All right. So question number 1. Let's get some music, Misa. Yep. Okay. All right, Mr. Doergan. Question number 1. Realistically, how many days can you go without taking a shower? And don't feel bad. Get grimy here if you have to. We've all been there, you know.
Well, if I didn't have to go to work, God, I could go forever. I mean, you know.
I think that's a real man answer.
Right. He said, "What's a shower? Fuck a shower."
Look at Joe.
Yeah, we have our normal producer. Our normal
maybe a
producer
week,
is
I don't
crusty as fuck. Oh, so
That's his middle
not
name.
him. Our
Krusty.
normal producer,
Yeah.
Hell
Joe,
no, I'm not.
and he knows he's crusty. Like he actually promotes himself as being crusty.
Yeah,
And it's
he
crazy.
smells of stale.
Right. So you say you can go a week.
I think so, yeah.
Wow.
I don't know. I mean, I take a shower every day, but yeah.
Morning or night shower?
Morning.
Morning. Yes, sir. Put it right here, Joe. There
Yes,
you go.
sir.
All right, there you go. Question number 2. Let's get some more music here. What was that?
Oh, yeah.
Whatever
Go back,
that
go
you
back.
flashed
Go
up
back.
was crazy. Go back to it really fast.
I'll
sir.
take door number 2.
Okay. Chewy, what's going on here? You're struggling. You're panicking. I can see it in your eyes.
Oh my god.
Read
Oh,
this.
yeah.
Read this.
So the stinkiest record is 60 years without getting paid.
Holy shit.
God, that's a meme. That guy is always on a meme.
Yeah, yeah.
Bro, that is crazy. 60
and I-
fucking years.
I saw this little like documentary on this guy, and something happened when he was younger, and he just decided not to. He just ran away from home, and just decided not to ever shower. And
Bro,
so
that is crazy.
He'll smoke like other animals' feces.
Oh.
Like it gets dried up, and then he'll just smush it up and just smoke it.
But does he, like, if it rains, he goes out or just...
Well, actually, the people around the village, they build like this little. It looks like literally like a doghouse for him.
Oh, my God.
And they just go and give him
Jesus
food or whatever,
Christ.
and he just lives out there.
So you're going to shower before you come Saturday, right?
Yes, of
It
course.
says that here.
We got some cologne in the DJ booth.
Dude, that's
Hey.
crazy. All right, question number 2.
You're gonna need some Febreze for that shit.
Mr. Dorgan, if we subtracted, let's go 20 years off your life. So put your age at minus 20 years. Could you make a tackle in an NFL game? We're talking full speed, fucking Monday Night Football. You got to get in there. You got to bring down fucking
Just tuck and roll, man.
Ezekiel Elliott. Fuck it.
Oh, I mean,
He's like trying to bring down Bo Jackson and shit.
Boja. Oh, my God, that guy was a monster.
Yeah, he was, for real.
They'd run me over a train, but I would take my shot.
You'd get him down, right? You had at least like
It's like
fucking...
that kicker that
Yeah.
try to get the tackle and he just gets destroyed.
Because you're going to aim low, right? You're going to
Yeah,
go for...
I may not win, but I'll give him something to remember.
Oh, there you go.
Shit, I remember
like
running
that.
over that guy.
He's like, I remember blacking out. Getting destroyed out there. Yeah, dude. Honestly, like, did you see one of the quarterbacks threw an interception and they started running away from the fucking play because they were like, dude, I'm not going to get tackled here.
Oh, college, right?
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah, it was a fumble, and he was like, the ball went into the end zone, and he saw like some guys right behind him.
He's
so
like,
it's
I'm out.
He took like a right turn, like a sharp right turn. He's like, fuck that.
Yeah, that would be me for sure. On the
Yeah, it would
football
be
field.
me. I'd get killed.
Get killed. Jesus Christ. All right, question number 3. Let's get some more music here. Okay. Mr. Joe, what is your all-time favorite place to eat an EP?
Whataburger way.
No. We're gonna talk about Whataburger in a bit. That's like a bonus question, but like, just like if you're gonna like, let's say you're gonna take somebody out on a date. He's like, no, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, because then I got to spend
Okay.
more money than I want to.
That's true. Okay, so
Or you're
let's
taking
say
yourself
you're
out
taking
on a
yourself
date.
out on a date, and you're gonna go to whatever restaurant you want.
If I'm going out with the boys or my son, friends, I mean, I love the Rib Hut on Mesa and I love House of Pizza on Piedras.
House of Pizza on Piedras
But-
is fire.
But I don't know about taking a date there. That's not their favorite
They
places.
can get a little picky and shit, you know.
Yeah.
And you're like, dude, get out of here. I'm trying to smash this pizza. Maybe I'll smash you later. I don't know. All right. So real fast, actually, yeah. Go-to meal from Whataburger. What are you smashing out? I go number 5.
Oh my God. I mean, I love the triple meat, the double meat.
Triple meat? I don't
Triple meat,
I didn't
triple
take you for a
cheese,
triple
triple.
meat guy. But my guy Blue over there, my guy Blue will do 4 meats if you let him, because he's absolutely fat as fuck. I don't know if you couldn't tell, but he is. I didn't take you as a triple meat guy.
God, this guy
Se la come entera.
can eat all of that and look like that.
Dude, it's weird, right?
Fucking
Dude,
hates
it's
you.
all
And
the
not have sex
cocaine
for
bro.
6 months.
It is all the cocaine. I'm telling you. I've been saying this the whole time. It's crazy, bro. How does he look like that?
drug.
Bro, how does he look like that? He's so fucking the skinniest.
He hasn't
one here.
had sex in 6 months. He's
Oh,
just not
shit.
going out.
Hey, that's what it
Because
is.
he's always at Whataburger, so his arteries are clogged. He can't fucking pump, you know? Okay. But yeah, what's your go-to there?
Yeah,
Triple meat, triple cheese, triple.
Yeah, the double with the bacon burger.
Do you put jalapenos on there? Is that something you do? Are you crazy like that?
No.
He's like, no way.
That meat, cheese. You know, I don't want a salad on my burger.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I'm the same, dude. Take the lettuce and throw it directly into the trash
I
because
love
like
the Whataburger ketchup. Oh, spicy.
Ooh.
spicy one.
Oh, yeah. Like
Hamburger Redoso.
spicy like our women.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Question number 4. Let's get some music here. Spicy women, huh? Chewy knows about spicy women. He loves spicy women. Okay. Oh, Jesus Christ, Chewy. All right, question number 4. Mr. Joe Doergan here. If you had to shit in public, do you always use the large handicap stall? Because I'm always going to the large one. I'm always like, I'm seeking out the large one because I'm large and in charge.
Large and in charge. Nah, but then I feel bad because then you always go when like right before like somebody that
a
actually needs
handicapped
it,
guy shows up. But hey,
and
dude,
then they wait for you until you come out, so you have to go out.
No, but like, here's what you say is like, hey, when I got here, the other one was taken, so I had to fucking, I had to do
and
it.
then she's like, "This is a women's restroom."
So yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm always going for the handicap stall.
Absolutely.
Yes!
I mean,
Yes!
because the other stalls are like this.
Right. How am I gonna wipe my ass in this prison cell?
I can't even text while I'm taking a shit.
Right.
Yeah.
It's totally uncomfortable, and like I said, I like to be comfortable when
I like to spread my legs.
Right. I like to drop the pants all the way to the ankles.
Squats before I sit down.
And when I wipe, I like to be able to fucking space out and shit. Get every inch, you know. I mean, it's true. It's true, bro. It is true, bro.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Well, you looked at me.
I'm looking at you. Chewy looks like he'd be in the small fucking
Fuck no,
stall
I'll tear it
shitting
up.
his brains
but
out.
I don't talk about it.
Well, I mean, dude, I like to talk about it. Sorry.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Sorry, Chewy.
Respect.
All right,
I'm
question.
not gonna lie. Yeah, the big one.
Right. This is
Yeah,
something
tear it
that
up.
is
You gotta
important.
tear it up, yeah.
Okay, question number 5. Let's get some more music here. Last one, Misa. Last one, guys. We're going to let it ride. We got Mr. Joe Doergan in the house. Final question here on the 5 random questions. Let's go. Okay, last question.
You should totally put this up there when you're fucking DJ.
Dude, you should hit that triple horn gets the bitches crazy.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now.
All right.
All right. All right, Mr. Dorgan, what is your ultimate vacation destination? If you can go anywhere.
Wow. Ultimate vacation. Dang. Ultimate vacation.
He's gonna throw an event over in the moon and shit.
Mars and shit.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
Ultimate vacation. God dang. I mean, I really haven't.
Maybe hit like the Greek coast or some shit like that.
I mean, the ocean's my happy place. So I love just seeing. I went to Hawaii and I just like these kids just leave from school to hit the beach. I wish my other lifetime.
Yeah, that would be so
That's
sick.
fucking
dude.
badass,
That would
huh?
be so sick.
I would love to go to Spain. I would have loved to gone to Ibiza. I really would love to see Dias de los Muertos in Mexico City. Just those parties.
Yeah, I heard those are epic, dude. Like crazy over there for that.
Go out there to
holiday.
like Switzerland or. Damn, look at that.
That's right, Switzerland.
Switzerland or
That
New
would be
Zealand
cool.
out there would be nice.
But cold weather, just
You're not a fan or what? Obviously, I mean, if you're still in El Paso, it's probably because you don't like the cold.
yeah, I love sun. So I mean, I love seeing snow, and El Paso just lasts for 4 hours, right? So,
Right.
Yeah.
It just here it fucking dumps and then it's out. Like it doesn't stick around, doesn't fucking
But it closes down the city for sure.
But it will fuck the city up. I'll tell you that much.
right.
You put a little ice on them roads, brother, and damn,
Schools get canceled.
I-10's a
fucking-
skating rink and shit. It's
Why is
fucking
that
wild.
guy passing me?
Yeah, dude. It's
Idiot.
crazy. So yeah, so you would say maybe somewhere in Europe, somewhere nice, somewhere not too cold, or maybe just like a nice beach spot.
Yeah, I love the ocean, but I would really like to see more of the United States. There's so many places I haven't been.
Right.
So
Yeah, that's a nice picture, dude. The Whataburger drive-through in the snowy
In
day.
the snow, there you go. Hell yeah. Love to see that. Whataburger's still out there pumping out them burgers. Hell yeah.
I mean, I think it'd be the best time too, you know?
Yeah, dude. Fucking nice cold day. Get a fucking chicken strip, honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich and call it a day.
Damn, dude.
Dude, I got excited because that's where we're going after this.
You hungry, huh? It's all fucking huffing and puffing.
That was fucking 5 random questions with our guy, our boy, Mr. Joe Doergan in the house.
Yes, sir.
Give him one more round of applause. Give him a real round of applause, guys. Lisa, I want to hear it. There you go.
These guys are crazy.
Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah, it's a normal day here on the pod, I would say. So, all right, guys, let's start to wrap up episode 150.
Episode 150. Holy shit!
We got some changes coming on the podcast. We'll talk about that later, but got some changes coming up here. Episode 150. Shout out to our sponsors, Next Gen Sports. He makes our merch. Our boy Chewy. Shout out to our guy Omar from Sun City Vibes. If you need graphic work, fucking killer drone footage, hit that guy up. And our boy Aaron Lee at I&I Glass for custom glass pieces. Make sure you hit up Aaron. You can find them all on IG. They're also in our description on our episode links. So with all that being said, guys, let's go around the studio here, give our final thoughts on episode 150. Let's start with you, Chewy.
Brother, honestly, thank you for joining us. It's pretty cool learning the history, what happened in 101, where it's coming back, and we'll be seeing you soon. Well, I'll be seeing you soon with the squad, and thank you for joining us, bro.
Hell yeah, Chewy. Thank you for fucking pulling up those killer images today. Give him a round of applause, Misa.
Dude, Chewy went from sir to bro. Sheesh. It only took one episode.
If I was a girl, dude, I'd smash you. Just saying, all right?
Then I'll smash them cheeks together. Look at that.
There you go. Misa, final thoughts?
Yeah, Mr. Dorgan.
Do women say that? I'd like to smash that.
Oh, I'm sure. That's a good question.
Well, I think
they should.
I think they do.
I think they do.
They just say it amongst other girls.
They don't be like, I'd hit that.
smashed.
Like, I'd suck that.
Well, what do they say then?
Yeah, what do they say to you?
I'll peg you?
Peg you? No. They say that. I'll smash that guy.
Yeah,
I'll smash.
or they'll be like, I'll cook them dinner.
Right. Yeah, that means fucking smashing. Maybe even a blowjob if you're lucky. Anyways. All right. Misa, final thoughts?
Yeah, Mr. Dorgan, man, it was a pleasure to meet you. I'm glad you responded. I was having doubts, knowing who you are and what you do. I'm thinking this guy's probably way too busy. But thanks, man. Thanks for giving us your time. It was fun. Shout out to all the moms out there. I know we brought them up.
To moms.
Yeah, shout out to Iggy for coming through, man. It's nice seeing you, Chewy, Blue, keeping them beers cold. Everybody listening, guys. You guys make sure to stay safe and stay fresh.
Mr. Dorgan, final words from you today.
Man, I had such a blast, and I want to hold you to doing that live thing.
Let's do it, man.
Hey,
and working with Iggy, and just I would love to do this.
Oh yeah, let's do it. Yeah. And shout out to Ace, by the way. Photos by Ace, Mr. Ace Acosta. Shout out to him. Friend of yours, friend of ours. It's good to see that he's doing well with everything that he's got going on with the El Paso Sports Network and things like that. So shout out to Ace. Give him a round of applause. Yeah. And also, guys, shout out to tomorrow's Veterans Day. So shout out to everybody that served, past or present. Cheers to you guys. You guys make doing this possible just by serving this country. So shout out to everybody, past and present. Like I said, happy Veterans Day. And like I said, we're going to have some new changes to the podcast here. Everything, all positive changes. We're actually going to be dropping 2 episodes a week, starting with episode 151. So make sure to check that out. We're going to be bringing you guys more content, more fire interviews. And yeah, guys, thank you for being here. Mr. Iggy Samaniego in the back. Make sure you guys check him out. Funny ass comedian, and
not as funny as Hicks, so
support the comedy scene here in El Paso, guys. Mr. Blue keeping the beer cold. Chewy, producer, thank you, brother. Misa, as always, good interview. And Mr. Joe Doergan, thank you once again for being here today. We really do appreciate it. You have an open invitation to come back on the podcast whenever you'd like. And thank you for coming here and blessing us with all your stories and some good times. So with all that being said, guys, episode 150, we are...
Sit on your face.
Told my nigga roll a blunt. I don't know where the road at. My license expired, but the police don't know that. Middle fingers up, cause we got the whole world, man. Never gave a fuck, cause they said that we won't last. Tryna live life like a rock star, baby. Tryna drift off in a sports car, maybe. If If I do the dash, hope I don't crash, baby. Yeah, I make the money, but the money don't make me.